'Cause when we argue, fuss, and fight, something's going on. Wait a minute, y'all. When I walk out the door, lady, and stay gone all night, and doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. Oh, yeah. And if you wanna go, it's up to you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, my whole world gonna be misty blue. I'm begging you, please, please, please stay. Honey, don't you hear me? 'Cause I love you. Oh, I love you, I love only you. What y'all know about that Johnny Taylor? I've been bumping that the last couple of days. I saw one video, then it led me to another, live performance. And Johnny Taylor was the king. He was. Johnny Taylor, the maestro of rhythm and blues. Spokesperson for rhythm and blues. Rest in peace, Johnny Taylor. My God. But anyway, I'm on my evening stroll before I get my little jogging on, because I think I've told y'all about my new schedule where I'll work out in the mornings and I'll jog in the evenings just to be consistent and remain consistent with my little regimen to stay in shape during the pandemic. And just have a couple of quick topics here today. Nothing major. I don't think they're major, but maybe to you, maybe something different. First off, I want to send a shout out. I have two topics. Shout out to Lil Boosie on Boosie Bash, and I want to talk about DNA testing for like paternity DNA testing, right? So, but first I want to send a shout out to Lil Boosie. Shout out to Lil Boosie for the success of his recent annual Boosie Bash. And I know, according to watching the videos and the news and stuff, it went off just as Hurricane Ida was about to touch down in the city of New Orleans. And of course, people were saying, "Wow, they're so irresponsible. He should have canceled it or postponed that or something." But I looked at it in a totally different way. I'm glad that it was able to go off. Matter of fact, when I saw the video, some footage of it, he was in the stadium. It was well lit. For his independent festival, it was well attended. It didn't get 30,000 people, but I think it had about 8,000 folks, and it looks like it has a nice crowd, because a nice crowd of people were there. And I'm glad that it went off without a hitch, and people were able to still make it home safe before the storm came out and did what it did on the city of New Orleans. But when I was looking at it, the perspective that I came from is, there's a lot of haters on Boosie right now because his stance on the so-called LGBT and him doubling down on his comments. I'm glad that it was successful, because I'm sure a lot of people wanted it to fail. So, a lot of people wanted that to fail. And it goes to show that when you're doing something right, it falls through, it comes through. And there were people who wanted that thing to fail. And I was happy to hear that it made it. And I was happy to see a little footage of the baby being shown love by the crowd. See, I'm getting to it, y'all. See, when we unite as a community, this is the kind of stuff that can happen. And when black men team up and work with each other, it's gold, it's dynamite. And just prove to the world that Lil Boosie has a following. The baby has his crowd, and they don't need so-called that big machine that sends everybody around. You can do it your damn self. It's 2021. And I was glad to see so many people out there showing the baby some love. Because, see, that proves to the so-called LGBT, all those folks who came out speaking against him, trying to cancel him and all that, that you know that you can't cancel nobody if the people don't want them canceled. Now, this is not to say that someone who actually behaved badly, out here killing people or robbing or raping or stealing and all that kind of stuff, well, we don't want to support them. But all he did was express his freedom of speech. And we cannot be in the business of suppressing speech or canceling people because of what they say. Now, we were to do that, canceling people for what they say. You know how many politicians would be out of a job? How many folks would not be working? And we were supposed to be operating under what is called the United States Constitution. So I want to shout out to Lil Boosie again for that being successful. And also throw a finger sign or pick one to all of those who are wishing that the hurricane came and probably washed it out. But I'm glad that he was able to pull that off, because let you know, black men, y'all follow this blueprint. It's okay to join together to make some money. And hopefully next year he'll get even bigger names. And hopefully if someone else is canceled, they can always know they have a home at Boosie Bash. I just want to say that. I want these other little rappers who are tied into these corporate contracts, these corporate rap contracts. When this CD is up, when that's up, man, let that stuff go and go independent. And y'all form your own festivals, make your own money so nobody can cancel you. Now, as far as the lyrics and stuff y'all talking about in the black community, that's when we come in and put your ass in check. If you can't say nothing rough and ragged about nobody else without apologizing, don't say anything rough and ragged and murderous and violence about black folks. So again, I'll move on from there. But again, shout out to Lil Boosie and his own independent festival and his independent music career. Shout out to Boosie, because he can give a lot of people some jobs. So anyway, let me get to this second thing. It's going to take me a minute to get through. It says, fellas, don't ever take her word for it. Get the DNA. And I want to say this because we've moved into a time where it has become political. It's become economically sound for women to lie or not mention or conveniently try to shove men out as it relates to the DNA out of children's lives. And it's like they're incentivized to push men away. Now, I get it. There are men who don't want to be there. And guess what? He shouldn't be on child support either. So that's my child support. Shout out to Mr. Palmer. But this whole DNA deal, I don't know why we seem to have such have a problem with DNA or letting children know who their parents are, particularly know who the father is. Because we're going to always know who the mother is. But we're seeing to still run into difficulty in finding out who or knowing who our fathers are. And so I put that squarely on the women. And we all know that the women might have a problem with the guy. That's funny. When they were having sex with the man, they didn't have a problem with him. But all of a sudden, he decides to, take his condom or take his semen and leave. Then all of a sudden, now, she wants to move on with the kid. And there are laws out there that allows this behavior. Laws that allow this behavior. And from a mental health perspective, it really does a number on the development and the psychological functioning of children when they don't know who their actual father is. Now, those of you know that I have a book, and I write about that when I found out about my dad by accident. It was by accident when I was 22 years old. And there are people who are still just now finding out about who their real fathers are. Hell, at age 30, 40, 50. Because the mothers, whatever reason they decided, well, they don't need to know. Even if she didn't tell you and she got you, let's say, a pretty decent stepdad. But still, biologically and by law of God, you should know whose you are and where you come from, where you get your DNA from, where you get your personality. See, in the black community, they always want to say, you look just like your mama. Boy, you act like your mama. That don't even sound right. But it only comes from a community that's ran by women. The black community has been deduced to that of matriarchy. We've been just reduced to that of matriarchy. So black women have always, since for the past 50 years, have had the say-so, or whatever the politics or whatever the social commentary or philosophy of the black community. It's been black women. And you see, we're a wreck. bunch of psychologically damaged children, neglected and abandoned children, hurt, angry children, because the government helped to fund them to be this unrequested matriarchy. We literally live in the black community, under what's called a gynocracy. Female-led, female everything. You know, you can say, well, where are the men at? Well, the women are responsible for that. See, when you have 8% of black children born to single mothers, it's not the men, it's the women, because the women make a choice. They can either be a wife and a mother, maybe a wife and a mother, or a baby mama. You know, because those 80% of women who choose to give birth out of wedlock, here a lot of black children are born just from casual sex. People they're not even attached to. But of course, when they tell it, we was in a relationship, y'all was in a sexual relationship when you came from the club, or when y'all was in high school out, having sex under the bleachers, or y'all was probably in the neighborhood. You know how I used to do in the neighborhood, side of little chicks. Yeah, you got a chance to meet one and knock one down, but it was just sex. But you got pregnant, you decided to have it, and that's how a lot of black children are born. Or have been born, and they continue to be born that way. Not only does she have one, but she got 3 by 4 different baby daddies. Because the consequences of that immoral or amoral behavior, they've been kind of knocked out of society. So you have a generation of young people, men and women, who are wondering who their real fathers are, and the women are not going to tell it. For financial reasons, no, I may stop my check, or I don't like that mother lover, or he hurt me, whatever it is. And please, for those who messed around, let's say the unfortunate thing that you probably got raped. And see, y'all may not like where I'm going with this. You know, you were probably raped. Who in the hell gives birth to a baby out of violence, a violent attack? You need to be in a therapist seat right now. You need a mental health examination. Then you have the little girls who are molested. 10, 11, 12 years old, pregnant, and the mamas and daddies, or the mamas, there's no fathers there, they allow an 11-year-old or 12-year-old to have a baby. Are you kidding me? Child abuse, selfishness. Again, it's not men's decisions, it's the women's decision. They have control. My body, my right. So therefore, you're responsible for all the children that's born out of wedlock. Because in the 21st century, y'all have about 24, 25 forms of birth control. And you won't even use 2 of them. Won't even use 2 of them. You'll have a problem with just dropping a baby off. Because you know there's some money somewhere that you can make off of that kid. You don't really like them, like the kid, but you know there's some kind of societal pat on the back. Well, girl, at least you didn't afford it. At least you know I'm a good single mother. If you have to say that, let you know you're trash. You know, to all you married women out there who became single mothers from divorce, this is not about you, so I don't need your commentary. Because y'all killed me trying to identify with the single chicks out there who have never been married, but they around here having sex with any and everybody, and then have a baby by any and everybody. That's the weirdest thing. So at least you obeyed your church and God and the laws and got married. And then for whatever reason, after 10, 15 years, y'all have a divorce, well, you're still a co-parent. Now, the women who may have become a single mother because the husband passed away, or he went to jail for 30 to 40 years, you know, I understand that. But it's not about either one of you. We're talking about these multitude of young single women who don't have a wedding ring or wedding date or wedding dress or even wedding invitation right here having these babies. And then you have the nerve to not want the kid to know who his father is because you're out there thotting it up and tramping around with multiple people. You know, that has to stop. We have to stop this behavior. We've been in this country over 400 years. We can't continue to say, well, you know, before we were kidnapped and brought up here from Africa, we learned all these bad habits from the enslaver and the capturer. Well, okay, it don't take, 400 years to stop it, goddamn behavior, does it? Because in the last 200 years, we've had libraries, access to colleges, access to research, all kinds of stuff. So you mean we hadn't gathered enough sense not to have a bunch of babies without a man around? So I'm over that excuse. I'm over that. I used to say the same. Well, we learned this. Okay, we learned this. So when are we ever going to unlearn this behavior? And to the men, stop helping them to become single mothers. Keep your penis, keep your semen to yourself unless you're giving it to your wife. Now, of course, these beta male simp lame ass dude, man, when you tell a dude not to have sex, man, you must get a pussy. You don't want no pussy. So I'm like, dude, come on. That's not what's going on. I'm thinking about children. See, those of you who just have kids, you don't give a damn about no kids. Because when I was growing up, or not when I was growing up, but when I understand my own intelligence, that children are planned. Not only planned, but situations are put in place where a baby can be brought into a comfortable, safe, loving, caring environment. But black children, for the most part, are brought into brutality, unstableness, weirdness, wildness, violence, and just a bunch of dumb shit. Single chicks. And I know you don't give a damn about no baby when you have a baby when you're poor, living in the ghetto. Violence, gang member, drug dealing. Why would you do that? Living and your housing situation is ragged, or you're on drugs. So y'all stop telling me that kids are a blessing. A blessing to who? Not to your ass. Not a blessing to you. If you thought they were a blessing, you'll do what you're supposed to do before you had them. So I don't want to hear all that shit. It's just time out for that. This is 2021, about to be 2022. Why the hell is anybody still having a baby out of wedlock? I know y'all can't hardly see me because the sun is what it is. I just want to let y'all know this. This is out of control. It has to stop because a lot of people are hurt. A lot of people get hurt, and women don't seem to give a damn as long as their dirty laundry is not put out here. They don't give a damn. All they want to do is keep their secret and have it long enough to either go to the grave or they damn near to the grave. Well, I got stage 14 cancer. I ain't gonna make it in the next 30 minutes. I got something to tell you. What is it, mama? Uncle Charles. Yeah, who come over there and be coming playing cards with us all day? Yeah, that's not your uncle, baby. Let me tell you. That's your father. Just get on out, escape without any consequences. That shit has to stop. At least be woman enough to tell your child when they little, look, I was out here tramping around, I was starting around, I was out here messing with number street thugs and dudes who had wives and stuff, already had girlfriends, but I was a side piece, and I decided to have a baby. Have you? At least you can tell the children that. Stop whenever they ask you, some kids ask, well, who is my, they find out, who is my real daddy? Don't worry about that. There's some women who are actually belligerent like that. When a child asks them, who's my real father? Because they don't grow up and start hearing the rumor and the gossip. And then it turns out the man that you with, he don't look nothing like that child. Or she looks nothing like that man. And so, and he asks you, well, what are they talking about? They need to mind their own business. They don't know what they're talking about. No, all this has to stop in our community. Don't tell me what other communities doing, because they're not having a problem with their children like ours. Our boys, or read on a 4th grade level, our boys are the ones who are killing each other and being killed. Our boys are the ones who are left behind. And on so many lists are at the bottom. There's a lot of good single mothers. I ain't never heard of no shit like that. Because if those of you go to church and you believe in God, well, in God nature, it works like you have to have a mother and a father to have a child. Who in the hell said it was all right and even appropriate to have one woman have about 5 kids and it's just her? Who does that? Because you don't respect psychology. You don't respect human growth and development. You don't respect the psychological maturation of children. You don't respect, all you give a damn is about yourself. You selfish, narcissistic jackass. But anyway, fellas, I don't care what it is. If she tells you you're pregnant, just say, okay, have it, and let's do the DNA. Well, you need to give me some money for an abortion. Don't give her nothing. It's 2021. That shit is damn near free. Don't be giving these hoes no money. If she gonna have it, then you get the DNA if you're interested. You really don't have to. Because I'm getting to this point. We're under this assumption just because he was having sex with her, just because she decides to say she's pregnant, or she decides to have it, it's supposed to be an automatic connection to the child. most young men in high school and college, they just having sex. They ain't having sex to have no baby. You the one can control that lady, young lady, older lady in her 30s. You the one who can control that. And we need to stop the bullshit. Young lady, you like you always say, my body. You don't tell me what to do. Stop trying to police black women's body and all that. Okay, my hands are off. I'm giving you total control. So that means you have to take responsibility. But somehow, accountability is like sunshine to Dracula to black women. Like sunlight to a vampire to black women, accountability. Oh, 1 minute they say, my body, I'm in control, but soon they get pregnant. Well, I ain't do it by myself. He was there, you know. Come on. You either gonna take responsibility for your body or put all your body and your vagina in the man's hands. What you gonna do? When it's time to try to get some money, all of a sudden it's his fault. And then y'all have these judges in place they'll agree with you. I find it very interesting that y'all say, well, she ain't make it by herself. It's 50-50, but we did get down to child support. The damn payments ain't broke up to 50-50. Fellas, I need y'all to wake up. Y'all tell your young sons who are teenagers in early 20s, teach them about condoms. Or teach them about the group of girls who they can have sex with and not have to worry about no baby. You know, go to these big white colleges. Big white college like a Baylor or University of California, or you live in Texas Tech, and in Tennessee, maybe Vanderbilt, UT Knoxville, or whatever school, University of Michigan, a big white school that's got 90% white students there and the rest are others. Let me know if you ever see a pregnant white girl walking around there. Just let me know. You might. What you will see is if a girl is pregnant, she black. Or number two, if she's pregnant, she's walking with her master's degree, PhD pursuing fiance or husband, because they live in the couple's dorms. They're from India and Pakistan. You ain't gonna see no pregnant Asians at these big white schools. Now the HBCU now. Nah, okay. Love my HBCUs, but I understand. Hell, my old school, Grambling, got to have a damn daycare on the campus. So, whew. So I'm just saying, there's a place you can go, fellas. So stop. If you live in the ghetto, I advise you really be careful about having them chicks, having sex with them chicks who live in the ghetto with you, because your sperm is their come up. You change their lives. They get to get child support. They get to get food stamps, free housing, well, all kinds of free shit from the state. It's like they're being paid to breed for the prison population. And they go for it, and their mother's not trying to teach them no better. Now, some of them swear, I told her, you know, why aren't black girls on birth control like white girls are? I ain't talking about the poor white trash in the trailer park. I'm talking about the ones who go to college, that know the 18 to 25-year-olds that go to college, and they go to college all 4 years, and they don't walk across the campus with a baby in their fucking arms. You know, like that little retarded chick that graduated from Harvard with her little girl, she had a little girl in her arm with her little graduation cap on, and she had already had a second kid. Who the fuck goes to Harvard and get 2 baby daddies? A black chick? This shit is crazy. Or she have 2 kids by some dude at Harvard. Not like it's all that. I'm just saying, you don't see no other group there but a black chick. Now, I think she was black, mixed or something, but I think she was black. But I'm just saying. There wasn't nobody else. There wasn't no non-black doing that shit. So I just wanted to say that. No, fellas, don't take our word for it. Get the DNA, and you act like you have some sense as regards to your sexual discipline. Y'all know soon. As soon as you go in raw, goddammit, let the drama begin. And you should be enjoying your youth, young men. You should be protecting your money. You should be protecting your future by being disciplined with your penis. Because they out there, they don't care. They don't think about you. They think about themselves. All right. So be cool, y'all. And we need to stop this damn out of wedlock birth shit in the black community, because it's getting worse and worse. It needs to cut out. I know some of y'all gonna throw some statistics up there, but I want you to walk in these neighborhoods, these poor neighborhoods, and see what I see. All right. Y'all be cool. It's your boy Rico and his opinions, or Rico is so opinionated, or Rico the Opinionist on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Talk to y'all in the future. I'm finna go run now. Peace.